Good morning to all. 7th Standard Biology, Chapter 17th, Forest Our Lifeline. Students, all take your science book. Take a page number 210, 210. Okay. You already studied canopy and a story, the layers of a forest. Yes, the layer of some layer of the forest canopy and a story and a forest floor. Again I explain what is canopy, what is understory. The roof or cover formed by the upper branches of trees in a forest is known as overstory or a canopy. Okay. Then the different layers of plants found at different heights below the canopy are called understory. Then the important one, forest floor. This is the ground layer of a forest. The soil is moist and water containing decaying leaves, fruits and animals matter. This layer of forest is home to rabbits, snakes and also frogs, earthworm, fungi, termite and insect. The decomposer. What is decomposer? Microorganisms present on the forest floor decompose the dead plants and animal matter to form fertile soil known as humus. Okay. Today we goes to hear some components of forest. Today we goes to hear components of forest. Forest is made up of plants, soil and decomposers, and all of them are interconnected. Plants utilize carbon dioxide and release oxygen while producing food. The oxygen and food from plants are used by the animals and maintained by the balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide. When plant and animal die, decomposer degrades them and make the soil fertile by adding humus to the soil. Okay. So I explain the important one, interdependence of plants and animal in a forest. ஒன்றுக்கு ஒன்று எப்படி கனெக்ஷன் ஆகி இருக்குது, interdependence of plants and animals in the forest. Okay. The plants and animal in a forest depend each other for their survival. Okay. It depend each other for their survival. Plants are autotrophs and so also called producer. You see the picture. The plants are autotrophs. Okay, because they made up of their food by own. Okay, so it undergoes autotroph. So it is called producers. Okay. Then living things, these are the component, one of the component of forest. Okay, producer is the one of the component of forest. Then consumer, the living things that eat other organism as a food are called heterotrophs. Okay, all animals and heterotrophs so also called consumer. The autotrophs are called producer. The heterotrophs are consumer. So the second component is consumer. Okay, some animals eat only plant. Such animals are herbivorous. Carnivorous animals eat only other animals, whereas omnivorous animals eat both plants and animals. When animals die, their bodies are eaten by crows, vultures and hyenas. This group of animals are called scavengers. You know that the dead animals eaten by vultures, crow, and hyenas. So, the vultures, crows, hyenas are called scavengers. Okay. So, what is a scavenger? Scavenger means it is the animal which eat the flesh of dead and decaying organisms are called scavengers. The best example, crows and vultures. Okay. The bodies of dead plants and animals get broken down into simpler substance or decomposed by decomposer like fungi and bacteria present in the soil. The fertility of a soil is increased by this decomposer. Who is called decomposer? The microorganism. For example, bacteria and fungi. These are the dead plants. The bodies of dead plants and animals get broken into simpler substance or decomposed by decomposer. These are called, the fertility of soil is increased by this decomposer. Okay. The energy from the plants enters the consumers in the form of food. This eventually ends up at the decomposer and is released into the soil. Okay. This is again used by the plants, forming a cycle is known as cycle of nutrients. Cycle of nutrients. Okay. So, the component of forest is first one autotrophs, the second one heterotrophs, then scavenger, decomposer, etc. Okay. Then dependence of plants on animals. Not only do animals depend on plants, but plants also depend on animals in many ways. The plants also dependent on animals in many ways. Insect and bats feed on the nectar found in the flowers of plants. This helps in the process of pollination of flowers. Okay, which leads to the reproduction of plants, fruits and seeds which are produced after pollination and dispersed by the animal in different places. Then we goes to a food chain. A food chain is formed when one organism eats another organism for food. For example, grasshopper depend on grass and plants for food. Frogs eat the grasshopper. Snake eat the frogs for their food. This dependence of organism on one another forms a food chain. Okay. A food chain always start with plants, producers. The plant is called producers and ends with carnivorous animals. The primary sources of energy of all food chains and sun that provide energy to the plants to make food. Okay. So, grass, insect eat grass, frog eat insect, snake eat frogs and eagle eat snakes. The first starting producer grass, the last one eagle is one of the carnivorous animals. So, the food chain end carnivorous. The food chain start from producer plant. Okay. Then we goes to a food web. Multiple food chains are interlinked together to form a food web. Okay. The multiple food chains are interlinked together to form a food web. A food web is an indicator how closely plants and animals for a region depend on each other. If any one member is affected, the entire food web get disturbed. Okay. If one member is affected, the entire food web get affected. connected. For example, you see the food chain. The many frogs are formed. Then the amount of insect is less. Appo the frog is dominant. The food chains are disturbed. Okay. Then snakes are ill. All the food chains are broken. Okay. Then we goes to again, I tell again, interrelationships, new words. What is humus? Microorganism feed on dead plant and animal tissues and convert them into a dark colored substance called humus. Then decomposer, microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi which convert dead plants and animal to the humus are called decomposer or recyclers. Okay. Autotrophs, organisms that make their own food are called autotrophs. These are another one name, producers. Okay. Heterotrophs, organisms which depend on plants and flesh of other animals for food are called heterotrophs. Then scavenger, animals which eat the flesh of a dead and decaying organism are called scavengers. The best example, crow and vulture. It eat the dead, bad and animals. Okay. Then food chain. What is the food chain? Food chain, you already studied the lower classes also. A chain in which one organism is dependent on another for food is known as a food chain. A food chain shows the interdependence of various organisms present in an ecosystem. Okay. So, we already studied new one. What? Humus, then autotroph, heterotrophs and decomposer, scavengers, food chain, food web. The best example for food chain, grass, insect, frog, snake, eagle. Eagle eat snake, snake eat frog, frog eat insect, the insect eat the grass. Okay. So, all read the pages to 210 and 211. The independent of interrelationships of plant, soil and decomposer in a forest. Next class we study about the significance of forest. Next class we detailed study about the significance of forest. Okay, thank you.